If you build a life outside of the kingdom, it will come with a heavy price, the price of your soul. Matthew 16:26. What does it profit a man if he gains the world but loses his soul? Now, most people think that that scripture is only for the rich, the famous, and the elite, when it's actually for everybody. We have been trained to chase things, status, money, titles, that dream life. But who defined that dream? Some of you have sold yourselves to a job. You will do anything to keep it. The COVID era revealed that. Some sacrifice their health to hold on to a relationship. Some compromise their integrity to keep a business. Some drown in debt to keep up appearances. We've been trained to seek things instead of the King of all things. And now many are slaves to the lives that they've built. A slave to the payments, a slave to the image, a slave to the expectations. Romans 6:16 reads, "Don't you know that when you offer yourselves to someone as obedient slaves, you are slaves of the one you obey, whether you are slaves to sin, which leads to death, or to obedience, which leads to righteousness. Whatever you bow down to becomes your master." How many people do you know who live quote unquote comfortable lives, but secretly hate their lives? Over the years, I've spoken with people from all walks of life, from the homeless to the millionaires, and they've all had one thing in common. They've built lives outside of the kingdom, the world's way, and it showed. They were unhappy. You would think abundance guarantees joy and lack guarantees misery. But that wasn't the case. For years, that puzzled me, but now I understand why. See, it's not about what you have or don't have. It's about alignment. It's about purpose. It's about whether what you've built matches what you were created for. Proverbs 10:22 says, "The blessing of the Lord makes rich, and he adds no sorrow with it." If what you are calling a blessing comes with constant sorrow, pressure, fear, anxiety, and compromise, it did not come from him or his kingdom. Everyone is hustling to become a millionaire or a billionaire. But not everyone was created for that life. We were all created to multiply and live in abundance. But abundance looks different for everybody. It depends on your capacity and your assignment. When you chase a life you were never given the capacity to sustain, you open yourself up to slavery. Slavery to pressure, slavery to compromise, slavery to cutting corners, slavery to doing whatever it takes just to maintain it. Because you're trying to carry something you were never designed to carry. Now, this does not mean that you were called to poverty. It does not mean that you're called to mediocrity. It means seek the kingdom first, as we have been instructed to do. Because when you seek the kingdom, you discover who you are. You discover why you're here and what you were created to build. You received the blueprint specifically made for you, and then everything else flows. Not because you hustled harder, but because you're in alignment with the kingdom. Now, here's the truth that many don't want to hear. But don't fool yourself. You will serve something in this lifetime. Matthew 6:24 tells us, no one can serve two masters. You cannot serve God and mammon. Notice he didn't say you might serve. He said you cannot serve two, which means you will serve one. The question is, which one? Joshua said in Joshua 24:15, choose this day whom you will serve. But as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. See, there's always a choice. If you serve Master Jesus and his kingdom, you reap a life of blessings without sorrow. But if you serve mammon, money, status, validation, worldly success, it will come with many sorrows, stress, anxiety, fear of losing it all, pressure to maintain it, compromise to protect it. But at the end of the day, you cannot serve both. You will love one and despise the other. John 10:10, the enemy comes to kill, steal, and destroy. But I have come that they may have life and have it more abundantly. Abundance in the kingdom does not enslave you. It frees you. The question is not, will you serve? Because you will. The question is, who is your master? Is the life you built ruling you? When you align with the king of the kingdom, you don't chase, you don't strive, you don't compromise. You build what you were created to build. And you walk in the abundance you were designed to carry. So choose carefully, because you will serve something. This is a key revelation. You may need to hear this over and over until it truly clicks. Because until you catch this, you will repeat the same mistake many people have made. Treating the kingdom like an option, like an add-on, like something you fit into your life, when it was never meant to be added to your life, because it is the answer. It's the only answer.